Came to win, to fight, to conquer, to thrive. I came to win, to survive.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the 2022 Oklahoma Women in Aviation Day event. If I could direct your attention to the top of the 450 Stearman, to stage right. Standing atop that Stearman is your celebrity MC for today's event, wing walker, corporate pilot, warbird pilot, and a 2018 Bill Barber Award for Showmanship winner. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ashley Shelton! Ashley's gonna come down, she's gonna take a few seconds to make her way to the stage, and we're gonna get things kicked off here in just a few seconds. Ashley started wing walking in 2015. She's a lifelong resident of Tulsa, Oklahoma. She's an accomplished warbird pilot and corporate pilot. And she is our celebrity MC for the 2022 Oklahoma Women in Aviation and Aerospace Day event.
Thank you all for that awesome introduction. Welcome to the event today here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I appreciate everybody for coming. It should be a great event today. And I'm going to introduce our Vice Mayor, Cassie Carr, on behalf of the City of Tulsa.
But in the heart of America, we got the beat that's guaranteed to tap your toes.
Mayor G.T. Bynum announced Cassia Carr will serve as Tulsa's deputy mayor beginning in August of 2021. The deputy mayor serves as the acting mayor in the mayor's absence and coordinates policy matters on behalf of the city of Tulsa. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Deputy Mayor Carr.
Shuffle on, children, shuffle on. On both coasts, they got the record company machines, turning out hits on the assembly line. But in the heart.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like our deputy mayor is unable to attend with us today. So right now we're going to bring to the stage Alexis Higgins with the Tulsa Airport Improvement Trust.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's my pleasure to welcome you to Tulsa Riverside Airport. I'm getting a little bit of feedback, but this is the busiest airport in the state of Oklahoma. One of the busiest airports in the United States of America. Over 200,000 flight operations take place at this airport. It's my pleasure to welcome you to Tulsa Technology Center. Isn't this a fantastic facility? Yeah. They invited us and 800 of our closest friends into their hangar. But this is a really important institution because this is where students learn how to work on airplanes. Juniors and seniors in high school can come here and start working on their A&P license, and then 9 months after high school graduation can obtain their A&P. I learned today that they have 150 students, high school students, and 75 adult students that are currently enrolled at this campus. Just impressive facility. Appreciate Brad Hanselman and Dr. Pinkston for inviting us here today and hosting us. And let's give one more round of applause to Tulsa Tech. It's my pleasure to get to welcome our VIPs, and I'm sorry if you're a VIP and I don't have your name on my list. Catch up with me and I'll try to get you somewhere in the program. But we have Lieutenant Governor Pinnell here with us today. We have Mona Taylor, who is with U.S. Senator James Langford's office. From the Oklahoma Senate, we have Senator John Haste, Senator Paul Rosino, Senator Brenda Stanley, and then from the Oklahoma House, we have Representative Marilyn Stark, Representative Nicole Miller, and Representative Lonnie Sims. We have Jinx Mayor Corey Box, Commissioner Keith, Deputy Commissioner James Ray, Tulsa City Councilor Krista Patrick, Attorney General John O'Connor. We have the Airport Authority Chairman of our board, Joe Robson, and Mary Smith Crofts, who's also on the Tulsa Airport board. I'm giving you guys a good arm workout today. We have Secretary Chad Mariska from Oklahoma Department of Commerce, Brent Kissling, also from the Oklahoma Department of Commerce, General Hopper Smith from the state, he's the State Director of Aerospace and Defense, Secretary Tim Gatz, oh, he actually, I don't think his flight made it, Commissioner Lindy Ritz, the Director of our State Aeronautics Commission, Grayson Ardes, Colonel Abigail Rusqueta from Tinker Air Force Base, Major General Glenn Davis from United Dynamics, Michelle Coppage, who's the director of the FAA Monroney Center, is with us. Robin Hadfield, the president of the 99s, is with us. And Colonel Robin Kavanaugh with the 138th Fighter Wing here in Tulsa. So many great leaders are here who support aviation and the work that we do every day. I also would like to recognize our planning committee for this event. It's a rather small group of people that get all of us together every year. So if you were a member of the planning committee that includes the Aeronautics Commission, the airport staff, and Spirit Aerosystems, would you please stand and let's give them a round of applause. Thank you all so much for giving your time to make this such a successful event. Finally, since this is my last time at the mic today, I wanted to share with you a light bulb moment. Somebody I work with used to say, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And I kind of agree with that. But then I thought, you know, we work really hard. We love what we do, but we work really hard at what we do because we love it so much. We sacrifice time away from our families. We sacrifice time, our free time to spend here in the industry and be engaged. And so today, I hope you'll join me in recognizing the contributions that women have made for decades, those early pioneers in our industry, as well as the women here today, and to the students. The students who are here with us today, I just want you to know you can do whatever you want to do, and you're going to hear from some really great women today, and I'm excited that you're here to learn more about our industry. And with that, I think I'm going to turn it over to Deputy Mayor Kasha Carr.
In the heart of America, we got the beat that's guaranteed to tap your toes. Oklahoma's got the Tulsa shuffle.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this time I'm not kidding. We have the Deputy Mayor, JT.
Hi everyone, Kasha Carr, the Deputy Mayor of Tulsa. Just want to say I'm so excited to be here to honor Aerospace Day, and on behalf of the Mayor of Tulsa, G.T. Bynum, I have a special proclamation that I am going to proclaim right now. Whereas the mission of Oklahoma Women in Aviation and Aerospace Day is to recognize the contribution of Oklahoma women in the state's aviation and aerospace industry annually on December 9th. And whereas Spirit Aerosystems served as the presenting sponsor of the 2022 Oklahoma Women in Aviation and Aerospace Day in Tulsa, Oklahoma at Tulsa Technology Center's Riverside campus, and whereas Spirit Aerosystems is one of the world's largest manufacturers of aerostructures for commercial airplanes, defense platforms, and regional jets, and whereas Spirit Aerosystems, as one of Tulsa's largest aviation employers, provides employees with the opportunity to innovate and make meaningful contributions to the future of flight, and whereas the City of Tulsa extends to Spirit Aerosystems sincere appreciation for their continued commitment to developing Tulsa's aviation and aerospace capabilities in support of global national transportation needs. Now, therefore, I, G.T. Bynum, Mayor of the City of Tulsa, do hereby present the certificate of recognition to Spirit Aerosystems in the City of Tulsa. Thank you so much.
Aviators and aviation technicians, make a warm round of applause for this year's presenting sponsor, Spirit Aerosystems and Amy Williams.
All right.
Global
Hello,
culture, diversity,
everyone.
and equality and inclusion.
Very exciting stuff. Thank you so much, Deputy Mayor Carr. We couldn't be more delighted to be here. Spirit Aerosystems' mission is to move people, communities, and the world forward. We're a vital partner in inventing, designing, and building what's best in aerospace. A key piece of that work happens right here in Tulsa and has been for the past over 80 years. Our site supports our important programs with Boeing, the 737, the 777, 787, and we're excited to have them here representing us in Oklahoma. We are excited to join you today, proud to partner with Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission, the Tulsa International Airport, and the Oklahoma Air and Space Forces Association as we celebrate women's legacy in aviation and aerospace. Spirit is a diverse and equitable and inclusive workplace, and we recognize the critical importance of developing the future talent, the talent pipeline of women, girls and women in our industry. Often when we talk about gender equity, gender equality in the workplace, it's viewed as a woman's issue. Certainly it is not. It is really a business issue. It is a gender equal world is a healthier world, is absolutely essential as we develop and grow our economies and our communities. Because we understand that and we value diversity, equity, and inclusion in our workforce, we have made a commitment to our board of directors to improve the representation at Spirit and in our industry to help build that. Today, we're 24% women in leadership at Spirit, including our Chief Operating Officer, Sam Marnick, who sends her regrets. She was trying to get here today, but that didn't work out for us. We also have two phenomenal women on our board of directors. We are focused on increasing that number to 30% by 2025. So I am proud, very proud of our rich history, our legacy of women in aviation, and to be a part of this. As we think about going back to the Rosie the Riveter generation, We are excited to be where we're headed, where we're growing, and strengthening our culture of gender equity within our industry and Spirit Aerosystems. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy your lunch.
That I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the man who...
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the posting of the colors by the Girl Scouts of Eastern Oklahoma and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, ladies. Let's give them a round of applause. It is my pleasure to introduce our next guest. She is a friend and fellow general aviation pilot, Jerry Barrientos, to say our prayer.
Please bow your heads and be seated. Please be seated and bow your heads. Heavenly Father and Creator, thank you for the gift of wings, for there is nowhere we can go that is beyond your presence. For in your presence we are blessed beyond measure. May we express our deepest gratitude for all pilots of previous generations who have paved the way for all of us. Please bless all those in attendance today so they may live their life to their highest potential while inspiring the future. I pray that you give others an opportunity to feel what I feel when I fly a plane, that feeling of peace, joy, freedom, and connection as we soar closer to you, O Lord, and all of your angels. As women and men in aviation and aerospace, guide us as we move into 2023, a new year of new beginnings, new projects, and new opportunities. We give you thanks and praise. Amen.
Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain, and the waving wheat can sure smell sweet when the wind comes right behind the rain.
Matt Pinnell was elected the 17th Lieutenant Governor of Oklahoma in 2018. Pinnell is president of Oklahoma State Senate and serves on multiple constitutional boards and commissions. He is also Secretary of Tourism, Wildlife, and Heritage on Governor Stitt's cabinet. Governor Pinnell is the chief marketer of Oklahoma and spends much of his time promoting tourism, Oklahoma's third largest industry. Governor Pinnell enjoyed a general aviation flight at a Wiley Post this year on August 19th, which is Oklahoma and National Aviation Day. Welcome, Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell.
Gotta love that song, right? Well, what an amazing turnout for the second largest industry in the state of Oklahoma, aviation. You. Truly one of the backbones of the state of Oklahoma today. Oklahoma has a legacy of aerospace innovation and success back more than 100 years. This is not a 10-year legacy. This is a 100 years and counting legacy in the state of Oklahoma. In 2017, Oklahoma became the first state, think about that, the first state in the nation to recognize Women in Aviation and Aerospace Day. That deserves a round of applause. Each December 9th, Oklahoma commemorates the achievements of our female aviators past and present. The date was picked in honor of famous Oklahoma female aviator Eula Pearl Carter Scott's birthday. I know everyone in this room knows Pearl. Pearl was born in, listen to this bio, born in 1915 in Marlow and became the youngest pilot in the United States with her first solo flight on September 12, 1929 at the age of 14. She learned to fly from Wiley Post and later became a stunt pilot. Scott was a member of the Chickasaw tribe and was elected to the Chickasaw legislature in 1983, where she served 3 terms. Round of applause for Pearl. 14 years old. As your lieutenant governor, I can't tell you how excited I am about our aviation and aerospace industry moving forward into the next 100 years of this state. As many of you all probably know in this room, aviation and our aerospace and defense is our state's second largest industry, as I mentioned, employing over 206,000 Oklahomans and generating an economic impact of $44 billion. $44 billion. In 2020, Oklahoma saw 9 aerospace and aviation deals. In the throes of COVID, we closed 9 deals in the aviation and aerospace industry with over 1,177 new jobs with an annual wage greater than $86,000. So that was 9 in 2020. I can tell you, most of the companies that we are talking to today, and Chad Mariska is in the room, our new Secretary of Commerce will tell you this, echo this as well. The majority of companies that we are talking to are in this aerospace and aviation space. So I think there'll be many more announcements to come in future years. So from career tech certification to a dozen collegiate programs, Oklahoma has led the way in aerospace education for decades. And now I'm happy to announce that Oklahoma is ranked #1 in the nation for high schools teaching aviation curriculum with 57 school districts and counting in the state of Oklahoma. #1. #1. I say it all the time. I believe Oklahoma is the best place to live, work, and play. It's why my wife and I have chosen to raise our family here, start a business here. And I think this industry, moving forward, and as diverse as it is, as you will hear today, is going to be leading the way over the next 10 years and hopefully over the next 100 years to really help create the kind of state that we all want. To be able to have our kids and our grandkids live in this state, if we want that, and if we truly want to be top 10, really the #1 state in the country when it comes to aviation and aerospace, then again, we need to make sure that we continue to commit the time, energy, and resources behind you. And I guarantee you from our executive branch, I can tell you today, we are pledged, we are committed to that. So on behalf of the state of Oklahoma, thank you. Thank you for your commitment to this industry and to the state of Oklahoma. We will always have your back, and we look forward to watching this industry grow in the years and years ahead. God bless each and every one. Have a great holiday season. Thank you all.
Never, ever fade. You're lovely, but it's not for sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to want you to make some noise for our next guest. Please welcome Miss Gigi Coleman, the great niece of Bessie Coleman, as American Airlines presents a special recognition of Bessie Coleman, the Oklahoma Women in Aviation and Aerospace Day Woman of the Year.
Let me read this commendation, a few lines, and then certainly want to have a few comments from you as well. So this commendation, Gigi Coleman, loving memory of Bessie Coleman. Whereas the mission of Oklahoma Women in Aviation and Aerospace Day is to recognize the contribution of Oklahoma women in the state aviation aerospace industry annually on December 9th. Whereas Gigi Coleman, the great niece of Bessie Coleman, was presented this honor in memory of her ancestor as the 2022 Oklahoma Women in Aviation and Aerospace Day in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Whereas Bessie Coleman was the first African American woman and also the first woman of Native American descent to hold a pilot's license. And in June 1921, Internet awarded her an international pilot's license. Whereas Coleman's legacy has continued to grow throughout the years. For many years, starting in 1931, black pilots from Chicago instituted an annual flyover of her grave. And in 1977, a group of African American women pilots established the Bessie Coleman Aviators Club. And in 1992, a Chicago City Council resolution requesting the U.S. Postal Service issue a Bessie Coleman stamp. Big deal. Whereas Gigi's late great-grandmother was Bessie Coleman's youngest sister, Georgia. Gigi's mother, the late Marion Coleman, and inspired Gigi to pursue her commitment to providing opportunities for women through the family of Bessie Coleman organization and seeks to inspire the next generation of aviation industry leadership. I assure you, I'm inspired. So now, therefore, pursuant to the motion of Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell, the state of Oklahoma extends to Gigi Coleman, in memory of Bessie Coleman, appreciation directs this accommodation to be presented. Another round of applause, please.
Okay, you know, I am very overwhelmed, and I'm just so proud to be here that you're honoring my great aunt, Bessie Coleman. I'd like to thank the Oklahoma Women Aviation Aerospace Commission for honoring my great aunt, Bessie Coleman. Bessie Coleman went to school here in Langston University. Langston! And this is such an honor. My family, could you please stand? Thank you. We would like to commend Oklahoma, which is considered an aviation aerospace powerhouse, for honoring Bessie Coleman. Such an overwhelming tribute, and we hope and we pray that more people will discover her story and be inspired by her courage and just inspire other youth to go into the aviation field. And women pilots, you should be honored for your tenacity and the spirit that you have, like brave Bessie, who would not take no for an answer. And I would like all the American airline female pilots to please stand so they can be honored.
Your flight is ready.
Thank you.
Well-deserved, and thank you, Gigi, for being here today. Governor Penelope Wood, remain on the stage as we welcome other friends to the podium.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Robin Hatfield, President of the 99s International, Alexis Higgins, President, Oklahoma Airport Operators Association, Senator Paul Rosino, and Representative Nicole Miller.
I know we have some awards to give away today. Senator Rosino and Representative Miller, I have to give them a shout out. They're up here on stage, have really been leading the way in the House and the Senate in Oklahoma City when it comes to our aviation and aerospace industries. And they have prepared some citations of congratulations.
The Pearl Carter Scott Oklahoma General Aviation Distinguished Service Award honors Oklahoma trailblazers in today's industry. This category is open to any professional within the industry, instructors, examiners, commercial and general aviation pilots who have excelled and they're committed to the growth of aviation in the state. Through their passion and determination, they serve as an inspiration to other aviation professionals.
Excellent. And the award winner goes to Captain Jane Morris.
I came to win, to fight, to conquer, to thrive. I came to win, to survive, to prosper, to rise.
Captain Jane Morris.
To fly.
Sometimes we have to wait a few minutes. The good things come to those who wait. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, give it up for Captain Jane Morris. The Geraldine M. Cobb Oklahoma Military Aviation Distinguished Service Award honors Oklahoma military leaders dedicated to the service of our nation. This category is open to any woman, military or civilian, who has excelled in their vocation while supporting the mission of Oklahoma's military installations. Qualified candidates are pilots, mechanics, techs, and those who have shown great courage in the face of adversity and have exemplified the integrity and outstanding aviation-related service member.
And the award goes to Lieutenant Janet Jo Jeffries Means Tompkins.
Lieutenant Janet Jo Jeffries Means Tompkins could not be with us today, but she does extend her gratitude and great thanks for the award and all of your appreciation. The Dr. Shannon Lucid Oklahoma Aerospace Distinguished Service Award honors Oklahoma aerospace professionals who are committed to advancing innovative solutions that support the growth of the aviation industry. This category is open to any notable woman advancing the mission of the industry through education, research, administration, or promotion.
And the award goes to Teresa Camp, Boeing engineer and general aviation pilot.
Ladies and gentlemen, feel free to dance in between.
Director Arties, could you come on up here for a second? We do a lot of recognitions at this event. This is now the 6th year of this magnificent Women in Aviation Day, and it started in 2017 with a thought by a very special individual who does this Women in Aviation Day, and she's very involved in all of this, and she never gets recognized. And so today, I am going to recognize Sandra Shelton. If you can please come up to the stage. So I'm going to read this citation. She deserves it. She deserves the recognition. So, citation of gratitude from the state of Oklahoma.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise!
Whereas Sandra Shelton was the key organizer for multiple aerospace and defense events throughout the year 2022. to help educate, inspire, and bring awareness to Oklahomans of the amazing benefits the state's second largest and fastest growing industry provides. Sandra always sees a project or an event as a new challenge and embarks on that journey, determined to succeed from conception to completion, always bringing an uplifting spirit and bright smile. She is the consummate public servant, desiring to bring the good news, energy, inspiration, and knowledge that she has everyday Oklahomans in her mind. Whereas Sandra Shelton was able to organize and lead a group of partners and volunteers from various organizations, including the Aeronautics Commission, the Commerce Department, the AFA, Oklahoma Defense Industry Association, AAR, our military partners, airport officials from across the state, and many others carrying out these events. The work of Sandra and her amazing group of volunteers, as well as community partners, resulted in over thousands of Oklahomans and aviators alike getting to experience all the great things the state's second largest industry has to offer. Whether it was descending upon the state capitol building during legislative session this year and taking advantage of the buzz surrounding the release of the new movie Top Gun Maverick, 36 years after the original, where 500 military service members from all branches of the armed forces were offered the opportunity to see this naval aviation masterpiece on Memorial Day. Ushering in the 6th annual Oklahoma Women in Aviation and Aerospace Day to the Tulsa Riverside Airport, Sandra's leadership and fingerprints were there on everything, ensuring a successful event for all Oklahoma. And whereas Sandra has tackled significant hurdles and overcame many challenges with grace, wisdom, and professionalism throughout the course of planning these events, and was able to display her praise and tenacity for ensuring the Aeronautics Commission was seen as the leading state agency for all things aerospace and aviation. Whereas the Oklahoma State Senate wishes to express its gratitude to Sandra Shelton and salute her unwavering commitment to the outstanding personal performance in honoring our military members, our aerospace professionals, and all the aviation enthusiasts in the great state of Oklahoma. Now, therefore, pursuant to the motion of Senator Paul Rosino, the Oklahoma State Senate extends Sandra Shelton sincere appreciation and directs that this citation be presented. Give Sandra a hand.
Robin Hatfield is a general aviation pilot who started flying in 1979. She is a director with the 99s International Organization of Women Pilots. She is search coordinator with Carsa Evandale and airshow coordinator for the Second World War Warbirds and the Mike Potter Aircraft Collection and Vintage Wings of Canada, and an advocate for increasing the number of female pilots.
What spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words,
Wow, how do you follow that standing ovation that Sandra got? So, sometimes to know about women in aviation, we have to look backwards a little bit to know where we are and where we're going. And the 99s, people don't recognize the name outside of a small group within women in aviation, but it actually started back with the first all-women's air race 93 years ago. In August of 1929, it was a race filled with intrigue and sabotage. And over 9 days, 20 women competed in a treacherous race across the country, and only 15 made it to the finish line. The press coverage and even the rules back then tended towards sexism. Female pilots weren't allowed to use any aircraft that was deemed too powerful for women. And one pilot was barred from flying her own plane because it was 300 horsepower. And she had to find one with a lower horsepower to race. There was whispers of sabotage and attempts to shorten or cancel the race, constant claims that women should either not fly at all or fly with a male pilot and limit themselves. And so at the end of the race in Cleveland, underneath the bandstand, 6 women got together and expressed an interest in forming some type of organization, just strictly for female aviators, where they can support one another, they can lend a helping hand with professional opportunities, and record these achievements of female pilots. A letter was sent out to all 117 female pilots across the states, inviting them to a meeting in Long Island 2 months later. 86 of these women responded that they would like to join the organization, and 3 months later there was 99 women, which is where we got our name. So they wanted women to be treated as equals, to be treated as peers, and to be given the identical opportunities that were available to men. They believe that women can fly just as good, if not better, than some of the men who were flying. Amelia Earhart had said, "Enough of us keep trying, we'll get someplace." As the 99's 45th president, I walk in the shadow of some spectacular women, past presidents such as Amelia Earhart, who was our first president, and today is still recognized and an inspiration for young girls around the world. Or Jackie Cochran, who was one of the most outstanding pilots of our time. She was the director of the Women's Air Force Service Pilot, or the WASPs. Members like Jerry Cobb from Oklahoma, who wanted to go into space. Eileen Collins, who not just went to space, but was the first female space shuttle commander. Patty Wagstaff, who's the world aerobatic champion. Since the earliest pioneers, such as Bessie Coleman or Pearl Carter Scott, who were also from Oklahoma, women have broken aviation records, and they've been part of the 99s. Our aim is to awaken the same pioneer spirit in young women who experience our educational outreach programs, whether it's outreach to schools, Brownies and Girl Guides, or our own members that participate in a unique 18 to 24-month professional pilot leadership initiative. It's one of the most rigorous and structured leadership programs out there. They learn the leadership skills, qualities that your companies require for your future pilots and executive leaders. The Amelia Earhart Birthplace Museum in Atchison, Kansas, and the Museum of Women Pilots here in Oklahoma, which is also where our headquarters are. We provide hands-on educational experiences. They can fly simulators, flip all the switches exhibits, and a chance to learn about some incredible female role models. We bring life to the history of women aviators and show the future of aviation. Aerospace used to be the final frontier. Now it's the next frontier, and we're in it. Women were behind the scenes for so long, and with a concerted effort, they're now standing in front with the men. If aerospace is indeed the next frontier, we better get our young girls dreaming now. It's the best gift we can give them, and you can be part of it. In partnership with the 99s, we can raise awareness and inspire our youth, not just using traditional method of educational printed materials, but digital material that's available within the state, within the country, and internationally around the world. Oklahoma is leading the way in aviation and aerospace education, and you need future skilled pilots. You need co-branding that can enhance your reputation for your companies. Your name should be out in front of the next generation of pilots, of aerospace designers, engineers, and leaders. This all will accelerate the increase towards gender equality that we've been looking for since 1929 and before. You can become a stakeholder, an advanced partner, advancing that gender equality in our communities. And I'm thrilled to be here amongst you, our leaders in aviation and aerospace sectors, our college, high school students. You are our future. And I look forward to talking with you about the possibilities of working together in partnership programs. When teachers, like the one that in the panel had asked, what can I do? We can make that happen. We can provide material, we can provide other organizations that work within the skills that those students need. They need hands-on experience. They need to go and see it. If you see her in a uniform, you can believe it, that you can do it. When you see girls that see somebody in a military or an airline uniform walking through the pilot and go, she looks like me, I can do that. We can be part of it if we all work together. Thank you for having me here today.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to Robin Hatfield.
Let me sing for
Chad Mariska says he's honored and grateful to be appointed as Oklahoma's Secretary of Commerce and Workforce Development by Governor Kevin Stitt. He believes a growing economy and an advancing workforce are keys to unlocking our state's full potential, and he looks forward to working with the governor and agencies to continue driving Oklahoma's economic progress. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chad Mariska.
Wow, that's wonderful. It is amazing to be here. Hello, good afternoon. I'm Chad Mariska, Oklahoma's Secretary of Commerce and Workforce Development. First, I'd like to thank the Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission for inviting me to speak today. This is an impressive event. I mean, absolutely amazing. As you come around this corner and see this event, it gave me chills. So not only is this an impressive event, but it's an important event as well, to feature and to celebrate the role that women have held in our aerospace and aviation sector. As you know, less than 2 months ago, Governor Stitt appointed me to his cabinet. It is truly an honor to serve the state in this role. We all know that aerospace and aviation play a critical role in our state's economy. You've heard several other people speak about this today. As Oklahoma's second largest and fastest growing sector, we have a well-established and diverse base of companies and employees and entrepreneurs that make this work, but also tremendous potential to keep the growth going. However, operating in today's environment is not easy. As an entrepreneur, I understand the struggles that our current environment can create and presents, from workforce shortages to the impacts of inflation to our ongoing supply chain frustrations. Doing business these days can be challenging. However, we're Oklahoma. Oklahoma is positioned to prosper, especially when it comes to aerospace and aviation. In Oklahoma, we work together in a way that other states envy. From collaboration between state partnerships, state agencies, Commerce Department, the OAC, with education, with industry, we are working together to bring increased opportunity to our state, support the many businesses that already call Oklahoma their home, and to grow the aerospace and aviation industry and workforce. For more than a century, again, we've talked about it today, women have been playing a key role in Oklahoma's aerospace and aviation sector. But like I said earlier, there's also great potential here. With renowned training and education programs, we have the opportunity to reach women at all levels, opening the door to future career opportunities here in this amazing sector that we love. So I look forward to the opportunity to work alongside you in this room as we continue to strengthen and grow this vital industry and share aerospace and aviation career opportunities with today's students. So with that, I would just like to thank you all for being here and inviting me to speak with you and share a moment with you. Wish you a wonderful rest of your lunch. Thank you.
Got a dream to take them there. They're coming to America.
All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, what we have all been waiting for the past several months now, I'd like to welcome to the stage Captain Deborah Hecker and Captain Beth Powell for an energetic discussion of all things aviation, moderated by Michelle Coppage, Director of the Mike Monroney Aeronautical Center.
Captain Deborah Hecker currently serves as Senior Manager of Flight Operations, Policy, and Procedures for American Airlines, and is the first person in history of American Airlines to be dual qualified as a pilot and flight attendant. She has been active and member of Women in Aviation International since 1996, and currently serves on the board of directors as chairman. Jamaican-born Captain Beth Powell completed high school at the age of 16 whilst also taking her first solo flight. She obtained her private pilot certificate at 17 and her commercial by 18. By 19, she graduated from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University with a bachelor's degree in professional aeronautics and a minor in aviation safety. At 21, she was hired by American Eagle, eventually becoming the second black female captain at American Eagle Airlines on both the ATR 4272 and the EMB. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Captain Deborah Hecker and Captain Beth Powell. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Michelle Coppage, Director of the Mike Monroney Aeronautical Center.
So wow, it is great to have both of you here today. We are so excited. And I got to tell you, there's so many people here that are just interested in your careers and hearing about the journey that you've been on and what interested you in aviation and how you really got into this journey and what was your first career. So could you tell me a little about that?
Okay, so I guess I'll start with that. First of all the students back there, can you raise your hands so we can see you? All the students. We're so happy to have you here. Big round of applause to all the students that are in the room. Thank you, thank you. We all started in your shoes. My path was a very different path. Most pilots know that they want to fly at a very, very young age. I actually went to college in Michigan State University with a degree in international relations. I wanted to be an international lawyer. What happened is I ended up meeting someone at college whose dad owned a cargo company and always kept telling me to be a pilot. You should be a pilot. Now, this was in the early 80s. I had never met a female pilot. I thought you had to be a military pilot. I had no idea that I could just go to an airport like this and become a pilot. After college, I ended up backpacking for a couple years, really saw the world and had very interesting jobs. I worked at a pub, I worked at a farm, manual labor. It was a really great opportunity, but I came back to the States and I was working as a waitress getting ready to take my LSATs. My friend bought me my first lesson when I had my birthday. It was a birthday present for me. As soon as I got in the sky in that Cessna 152, I was hooked. I would never be a lawyer. I would never go to law school. I would be a pilot. Now, my parents were not very happy with that decision, of course. They wanted a lawyer in the family. But I believed in myself. I believed in what I wanted to do. I believed in following your passion. I worked as a waitress for 3 years to pay for all my flight training. Ended up buying my own Cessna 172 when I had 90 hours, and I ended up getting hired to fly cargo. Went to US Airways Express, Piedmont Airlines, and then 23 years ago, got hired at American Airlines. So there's always a journey out there. Sometimes we find the journey a little later in life, but everyone can find their journey and passion, and I am so honored to be here to talk to you about my personal journey. Thank you.
Thank you. Deborah, thank you. So Beth, I know that you've had a very interesting career and path. Can you tell us a little bit about the journey that you went on and your career in aviation?
Absolutely. And first of all, I echo Deborah's sentiment to all our students out there today. We are so excited to see you. I think we get more from this, talking to you all, learn about your journey and supporting you than you'll probably get from our stories, but we are here to support you. So I got the realization that I could become a pilot at 15 years old. It was at 15 years old I got that realization. I remember going to high school, and I loved every subject pertaining to numbers. It was math, physics, accounting. It had numbers, you name it, I would do it. I also remember the teacher would put a question on the board, and I would solve the problem and go up there and question him to say, hey, I think I found another way to do that, and I got the same answer. Is this correct? And he was just ecstatic about that. And I said to him, I like numbers, what's the big deal? The teacher reply is what made the entire difference in my life today, because the teacher said, are you kidding me? You can become. Now, he said a lot of things. I was 15, but I'm happy he said piloting first, because that's what I heard, that's what I remember. Rushed home to my parents, Mommy, Daddy, the teacher said I could become. Having the mom that I did, she wanted more for her 3 daughters, more than a status quo. She was a stay-home mom, and we loved her. She wanted more for her kids, and she would always push, let's research this, get educated, that will be your answer. And so we grabbed the yellow pages. Yes, I'm old. We scrolled through the yellow pages and found the one flight school in Jamaica. I picked up the phone, called the flight school. Next thing I knew, I'm 15 years old in a Cessna 152, rolling down the runway in an airplane. The instructor looked at me and said, guard the controls, and I did. We pulled back, I felt it. We turned, I felt that too. I felt like I was a bird flying around free. It was empowering, it was so rewarding. I landed with this smile on my face, kind of the one I have now. And he said they pay us to do it. So at 15 years old, I made up my mind I'm going to be an airline pilot.
That is amazing. So, yeah, thank you. So many of us are here because of the wings that we are able to be on from other people. And I know there's a lot of educators, there's mentors, there's colleagues that are out here in the audience. Can you tell us a little bit about people that have helped you along your journey, mentors or friends or colleagues that have helped you to get where you're at today?
So I started off about the teacher. That was the first person who actually took the time to get to know me, my skills, and encourage that. And all our teachers are like that in Jamaica, I must add. So to the teachers out there, we appreciate you, because I don't know what I'll be doing if that teacher didn't tell me I could become. So that was the first support I received. Of course, my parents were a great support to me as well. My dear mom, bless her heart, she's no longer, but she would be there for me to answer any questions about anything other than aviation. But what was great about my mom is that she always encouraged me that, listen, God put this in your heart and you can do it, and I believe in you, and that was important. Further on in my career, I didn't really see many that looked like me, so I didn't have much more of a support within that role. But when I came to the airlines, there were critical things that happened at that time. First of all, Bessie Coleman's story. I'm a member of OBAP, Organization for Black Aerospace Professionals. That's where I learned about the Bessie Coleman story when I became an airline pilot at American Eagle at the time. And I thought, wow, I wish I knew this first when I was younger, but to hear that story propelled me throughout the way. For someone who got no, that they couldn't become a pilot here in the US, went to France to figure out this is what they want to do and didn't take no for an answer, I think all pilots out there, we all have a little Bessie in us. And so the Bessie Coleman story was very inspirational to me. Brenda Robinson, our first black female pilot at American Airlines, her picture was in the wall of our flight training. And every time I'd walk through, it was my reminder that I will be a pilot at American Airlines someday. And then, of course, Deborah Hecker, when I got into management at American Airlines, served as a good support for me. It was somebody I could call to ask any questions and know that I got the encouragement that I could do it. But be careful. She's a great one to put you in these uncomfortable situations to make you grow, but we all need a Deborah in our lives. So those are a few of my inspirations.
Thank you so much.
Oh, and thank you, Beth. Yeah, we tag team a lot because, you know, as we had some really good questions in the panel, I talked about, you know, if you have stress or you have issues going on, it's always good to have a partner in crime. And Beth has certainly been my partner in crime, and I tap a lot of people on their shoulder because I think it's about inspiring people, not just to become a pilot, but step up into leadership roles. I think it's very, very important to be able to do that. But I've had some really, really wonderful mentors. My friend David, who encouraged me to become a pilot, I had no idea, but he stuck with me through my entire journey. My mother, she has a mother of 4 daughters. She was a stay-at-home mom and really inspired all of her daughters to go to great careers. My older sister has her PhD in physics, so she's a physics. My sister, younger sister, is a cardiac surgeon. And then my youngest sister is a businesswoman. So all 4 of us really have gone to great lengths to be very successful. And so I really give it to my mother, her strength and her character, making us believe. And then, of course, as Beth alluded to, when I started flying, there weren't very many women pilots that looked like me. I had female captains along the way that certainly inspired me to lead. My friend Evelyn Tinkle and Evan Vespo were great, inspiring, looking for leadership opportunities. And then when you go into management, I think, when we look around at other people, as I went through my journey, people didn't look like me. And so I had to find mentors other places, and I had really amazing male mentors. Funny, most of them were in the military, but they tapped me on the shoulder, being a civilian pilot, that you can do this. So as you go throughout your career, I would definitely urge you to look outside, because there's always going to be someone that's going to champion you. It doesn't always have to be a woman. When you're in male-dominated roles, you really have to look for those male allies to also push you and support you. So, and then, female executives. On the chair of the board of a Women in Aviation, which is a, international, huge organization. I had fellow CEOs and senior vice presidents that serve with me. Linda Markham, who's CEO of Cape Air, amazing, amazing leader. And Marcy Veroni, who's senior vice president of Avemco. Really people that I can look up to when I have questions, because you always need to have someone to inspire you to greatness, and then you have to be that person to inspire other people to greatness as well.
Deborah, that is so awesome. Thank you so much for that. And thank you to all the teachers and everybody here for serving in such an influential role as so many other people. So I know we have a lot of students that raise their hand when you ask the question. And I'm sure those students, many of them are thinking, wow, would I like a career in aviation? Would this be fun? And so can you tell us about what it's like to go to work every day? What do you enjoy about aviation? Is it a fun job? So Beth, if you...
Okay, I'll go for it. You see this smile on my face. This smile is plastered on my face every day I go to work. So I have 2 roles at American Airlines. Not only am I a pilot, so I fly. I get the honor of flying an Airbus 320 all over the United States, but I also work in management. So when I fly, the joy of going out, going to new destinations, leading my crew members on a successful mission, going through all sorts of different situations with our customers, it makes me so happy to be out on the road and going to fly. And then when I go into my management team and going and looking at the faces of the people that you work alongside and that you lead, we have so much fun. We have so much fun working, and that, raised a good point during the panel. You have to have fun in what you do. You have to be passionate about what you do, and then you're going to be really good at what you do, and you'll have a great time doing it, and it won't seem like a job.
And to tack on to what Deborah said about the fun and passion of our jobs, I love every takeoff and landing still. I love flying to different destinations, especially the intricate details that require going in and out of an airport. But then you have the overnights. You can see on a 3-day trip or 4-day trip 2 different countries, immerse yourself in the culture, get to know the people, enjoy the food, and come back home to your family. And so on the flight aspect, like Deborah, I have 2 roles. That's the flight aspect. But then when I work in the office, I get to influence change. We get to influence change and be impactful. So I'm the Flight Department Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Lead, as well as the Inclusion Council for the operation. That work touches the heart and the minds of our peers. It creates a space for people to grow, while it allows others to lean forward. We create that space of psychological safety so everyone know they belong. We do that by enhancing our policies and procedures and teaching people about respect and lack of bias for each other. We enhance our training culture, and then we help in creating courses to help people along their journey for sustaining meaningful change. So that warms my heart every day. It summarizes our journey and what all of us will go through, but on the other side, that we can be at the table to make a difference for everyone.
Thank you, Beth, and thank you, Deborah, for that. So, students, have you heard that aviation is really fun? And these ladies are loving it every single day. So we do have a lot of young people in the audience, and I would like to hear what you would say that would intrigue them towards aviation. What recommendations do you have?
Yeah, so Beth and I spend a lot of time, whether through OBAP, Women in Aviation, going out to schools, talking to universities to really encourage young people to choose this career. They don't have to be a pilot. They can go in whatever career in the industry, whether the transportation sector, aerospace. There is a job for everyone. And that is about seeing those opportunities and making them available. So for all the students back there, does everyone know what 2 times 3 is? Yeah? Can you raise your hand if you know what 2 times 3 is? Yeah? You can be a pilot. You can go into aviation. I don't have a degree in mathematics. I don't have a degree in STEM. That doesn't inhibit you from finding an incredible career that is rewarding, that pays well. There's opportunities in every job that you can possibly imagine. You will find it in this industry. So whatever your passion is, look to transportation because there will be a job available for you and a career.
And so you all heard my passion story, and thank God to the teacher for pointing out where my passion lies. For me, it was math, but for you, that could be something else. So my advice to you all is to take the time to get to know who you are and know what you're passionate about, because what you need to do in life and your purpose is tied with your passion. Once you determine who you are and that passion, take the time to set goals. If not, it's a dream, and having dreams are great, but it's nothing to be developed if you do not set timelines to this. Then you're going to need your support group. Those people who are going to cheer you on when times are hard or cheer you on when you need them. Find your support group. And then in the end, you'll be on the other side like us, enjoying every day and every moment of that life because you're passionate. And then one more thing I want to add to that. You all know there will be challenges. There's nothing that's going to be easy from point A to point B. We have a short time to share our passion and the joy of aviation, but there are going to be challenges. But you see that thing called passion? It will propel you through. If not, it will propel you over, under, or around, but it will take you through that journey.
Thank you, that is great advice. So I know sometimes young people have struggles. And I was just wondering, could you tell us about any struggles that you may have had to overcome throughout your journey to get to where you're at today?
As Beth alluded to, we all have struggles. In those struggles, that's where you find your personal strength to overcome. If you had no struggles, everything is easy and you will not be challenged and you will not grow as a human being. So really embrace all those opportunities that you find struggle. Throughout my career, learning how to fly, some people are natural pilots. I had to really work at it to really push my instructor to teach me from a technical side. And then when I went into management, when I went into management, I was the only woman in the flight department as a manager. I remember going to my first all-hands meeting. It was 70 white men and myself at a meeting. I was driving to work and I kept thinking, why is it just me? It can't be just me. So what we decided to do is I started finding other ladies like Beth that want to step up into leadership roles that wanted to join me. So you build your team, you build your network, and you can overcome.
Okay, let's give these ladies a round of applause, and thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and insight. And just what a pleasure to have you here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, thank you very much.
And as we wrap up our event, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today. And one thing I want to say is it's a privilege to stand here before you as an aviator, but even more so an honor to be an aviator from the great state of Oklahoma. Woo! And at this time, I'd like to introduce the State Director of Aeronautics, Grayson Arties.
Just sitting out here watching airplanes take off.
Grayson Arties has been the Oklahoma State Director of Aeronautics since November of 2020. The Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission's mission is to promote aviation and aerospace, which includes fostering the growth of the aerospace industry and ensuring that its needs of commerce and communities across Oklahoma are met by the 108 public airports that comprise the state's air transportation system. Arties' emphasis is on promoting the aerospace industry, one of the state's largest industries and top employers. Critical planning and development from the state's air transportation system, making the state's 49 regional business airports the best possible economic centers in their communities, and encouraging public-private partnerships to promote the aerospace industry. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Grayson Arties.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Wow, I don't know. I think most of us are probably speechless at the wonderful, spectacular event that we've been able to have here today in the beautiful Tulsa Tech hangar. I know we have some AAR folks in the room, and we're going to be, working on a hangar for them in the future. So we're going to have a little competition for who's got the best Women in Aviation Day event moving forward. Who knows where the future is going to lead us? But at the end of the day, I just want to say thank you to Tulsa Tech for hosting us and the opportunity to come to Tulsa and really, truly shine the spotlight on aviation aerospace and shine the spotlight on our women in aviation. Thank you all to those that have spoke. Thank you to our sponsors. But I really want to say a special thank you to the staff of the Aeronautics Commission. I have the privilege and honor to lead this great organization for the state of Oklahoma, and I can't do it without the team that we have. And it's a small team, but it's a mighty team. You heard Sandra Shelton up here earlier, but it's more than Sandra. It's Michelle Bozaiden, Sandra's right-hand person, and it's all the other staff members that we have there. Let's give them a round of applause. I do want to keep things brief because I know I'm the last thing between you and probably your weekend, so we'll try and keep this under an hour. The other reason I want to keep it under an hour is I do have a 6-week-old at home that I have to get back to. I am trying my best to help ensure women in aviation. We just, my wife and I just had a baby girl, Eleanor, 6 weeks ago, and I promise you, she's going to get an airplane real soon. As soon as the doctor says we can take her up in the air, we're going to take her up, because at the end of the day, workforce is our state's #1 challenge, and that's why we're all here. Yes, we're here to celebrate. Yes, we are here to talk about the past. We're here to talk about and share stories. But at the end of the day, all those students, you saw those hands get raised back there. We are hoping to inspire you, to inspire your friends to join the aviation aerospace career field. This has been a banner year for aviation aerospace. Whether it was Aero Day at the Capitol, this event here, you heard the Lieutenant Governor talking about we're #1 in the country with 57 high schools teaching the AOPA program. We had the president of AOPA brought his training program right here to the state of Oklahoma because we have so many schools teaching it. It was a great opportunity this summer. We were at Farnborough, we were at Oshkosh, we were at NBAA, MRO Americas, selling the state of Oklahoma, trying to get people to come here. And I can promise you the need for workforce has never been more than where we're at right now here today. I want to provide a special thank you to the state legislature and our leaders of the state for making the largest single investment in aviation aerospace that they ever have. Over $200 million of ARPA and PREP funds were able to be invested in aviation aerospace infrastructure, whether it's airports, water, workforce development initiatives, commercial air service, you name it. Our legislature has had the foresight to try and expand the state's second largest industry. And I can promise you, businesses, companies, airports, communities, we're going to come, we're going to help you ensure that this industry can grow. And maybe at some point in time, we're going to be able to claim this isn't our second largest industry, it's our first largest industry.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you've enjoyed this year's event. We want to extend a special thanks to United Dynamics for loaning their collection of aircraft
One second,
parts.
Mr. Announcer.
Excuse me.
I did say I was going to keep it to under an hour. We're only at 2 minutes, right? I'm kidding. One more thank you to Tulsa Tech and our friends here hosting us at the Tulsa Riverside Airport. You heard Alexis say this is our largest airport, or busiest airport in the state, one of the busiest here in the country. At the end of the day, for those aviators that fly around, it really is a challenge to come into this airport. We had probably about 20 or 25 airplanes fly in for this event specifically. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you to every single one of you that are able to attend on this event. I hope, and I have one ask. That ask is to go home and share some of the enthusiasm that you saw here today. Share some of the enthusiasm with a neighbor, share it with a friend, share it with your kids, share it with another parent. It's going to take an all-the-above approach to get our kids energized and excited about the aviation aerospace career field, but it starts with each one of you to share this great story. I promise you, you will be air evangelists sharing the good words of air evangelism. Go preach on. Thank you very much.
Announcer makes note, do not cut off the director. Got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed this year's event. We want to extend a special thanks to United Dynamics for loaning their collection of aircraft parts from their production line produced right here in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Please take a moment to make a note of the part on your table and know that United Dynamics keeps the American warfighter flying through technologies and solutions yet to be imagined. We also want to remind you that it would actually be a felony to take these items home with you. So please, leave them in place and untouched. But what you can take is there was a little bag on the back of your chair that has some goodies in it. You feel free to take those with you when you leave. And we also remind you that we're just here to have a good time. We want everybody to have a great time. Let's give them a round of applause for all the people who came up on stage today.